Good morning, boys and girls. Today is May 20th, 2020. For today's ELA lesson, I will be sharing with you a writer's workshop lesson. And today, we are starting a new unit all about poetry. Our learning objective is students will be able to brainstorm topics for future poems. What is poetry? Poetry is a genre or type of writing, just like fiction, nonfiction, and opinion writing. In this unit, we are going to explore different types of poems and their features. I will read you some different types of poems that I like. Then we'll make a chart of things that you notice about poetry. So as I read, I want you to think about what do you see and what do you notice in these poems. Our first poem is a short poem called The Poetry by Silverstein. The Poetry. Underneath the poetry, come and rest a while with me, and watch the way the word web weaves between the shady storied leaves. The branches of the poetry reach from mountains to the sea, so come and sit and dream and climb. Just don't get hit by falling rhymes. The next poem I have is a longer poem, and this one is called Good Morning, Dear Students by Kenn Nesbitt. Good morning, dear students, the principal said. Please put down your pencils and go back to bed. Today we will spend the day playing outside, then take the whole school on a carnival ride. We'll learn to eat candy while watching TV, then listen to records and swing from a tree. We'll also be learning to draw on the walls, to scream in the classrooms and run in the halls. So bring in your skateboard, your scooter, your bike. It's time to be different and do what you like. The teachers are going to give you a rest. You don't have to study, there won't be a test. And if you'd prefer for a bit of a change, feel free to go wild and act really strange. Go put on a clown suit and dye your hair green and copy your face on the Xerox machine. Tomorrow it's back to the regular grind. Today just go crazy, we don't really mind. So tear up your homework, we'll give you an A. Oh wait, I'm just kidding, it's April Fool's Day. These two poems are both rhyming poems. One was shorter than the other. This poem is not a rhyming poem. This poem is called a free verse poem, and it's called Fog by Carl Sandburg. The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. And this poem is a different type of poem. It's called a haiku. And again, it's a small poem. Each line has different numbers of syllables. So the first line has 5 syllables. The second line has 7 syllables. And the third line has 5 syllables. This poem is called Rain. Splish, splash, puddle, bath. Raindrops march in spring parade. Wake up, sleepy earth. I have another example of a poem on the other slide, but this one you might be surprised by. You probably already know that some songs have words, but did you know the words to a song, the lyrics, are a type of poetry? Let's look at the lyrics for the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Listen as I read them to you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So you might have noticed that as I read the lyrics, the poem, I kind of sang it with the tune that we all know. I'm going to play the nursery rhyme, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, for you. And like the poems, I want you to think about what do you notice and what do you see?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
So that was just a little bit of the whole nursery rhyme. Now let's talk about things we notice about poetry. Remember, as I read the poems to you, I wanted you to think about what did you see and what did you notice about the poems? And we can add what we already know about poems to our chart. Let me show you what I noticed about the different poems I shared with you. I noticed that there are different types. Poems are shorter than stories. Some have rhyming words, and some of the rhyming words form a pattern. Poems can be about anything. I read to you a poem about a poetry, about the rain, and about the fog. So they can be about different things. In our poems, the lines are long or short. Sometimes lines of poems can be about 3 words. Other times they could be these long sentences. It really depends on the poet and the type of poetry. They have titles, which lets us know what the poem is about. These are just a few things that we notice about poetry and that we can learn about. Now I want to share with you about writing poetry. Writers of poetry are called poets. Poets usually write about things that are important to them or things that they love. This could be special places, special people, special animals, or special times in their lives. I want you to think, what is something that is special or important to you that you could write about? What you just thought of is something that we can include in our brainstorming grid. To start off our unit, just like we did with our persuasive letters, we're going to fill out a brainstorming grid with things that are important to you and things that you can write poetry about. You will be able to use the grid when you need ideas for your poems. In each box, you're going to draw a quick sketch and label it. So this is what it looks like. This is our brainstorming grid, and it's all about the people and places and things that are special and important to me or to us. Make sure you write your name. So it's by Miss Morales. And here are a couple things that I thought were important to me that I would want to write poetry about. I've said that I wanted to write poetry about my dog and music. Those are just 2 things that are very special and important to me that I feel like I could write poetry about. So now it's your turn. You're going to fill out your own brainstorming grid with pictures of people, places, and things that are important to you. So you could include maybe a toy that's important to you, a person, like a parent or a cousin or a sibling. Places, maybe you love going to the beach. You could choose to write about any person, place, or thing in your brainstorming grid and as we write poems. Make sure you label your pictures. And when you're done filling out a grid of about 12 different topics, I would like for you to take a picture of your brainstorming grid and upload it to your portfolio on Class Dojo. If you have any questions about this lesson or the activity, please let me know. I am more than happy to help. I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.